I've always been drawing. I've drawn all my life. Yeah.
Uh,
There are times when I put it down for periods of time and I hadn't done anything for a couple of years, and then I'd pick it back up again. And I've recently just picked it up again. It's like my chronicle of my life. Different periods, different events, states of mind, And I started lifeguarding in 1982. I was a little older than most guys started, 17, 18. I was already 20, 23. It was such a big part of my life, and it was such an exciting part. We were young. I was young. Uh, I was like totally absorbed in it and the whole lifestyle. Part of it was, I always dreamt that I would be some kind of commercial artist and do T-shirts and do T-shirt design and other people wearing my designs. It was very satisfying, flattering. Then I noticed there's so many great artists out there that sometimes I get discouraged. I think I'm not good enough. But there's so many great artists. My influences is in my younger days of the comic strips, on the newspaper, uh, comic books like the Marvel comics, the Batman, the Superman. That got me into the anatomical drawings. Gary Larson in the Mad magazines, Don Martin got me into the comic, the comedic part of it, and the satire. They're like my babies. Yeah, I like them all. I do. I like them all. They all mean something a little different. They all depict a different aspect of things that were happening, and they all are. I mean, I got the Godfather there. I got Scarface here. I got the beach. I got my lifeguard, my wrestling. I got my church. I got my friends' business there. Uh, the one I spent the most time on, I think I've never spent more than 100 hours than I did on this one. Although technically it's all right. Sometimes I think about that was pretty good for back then. I don't know if I'm better now or if I was better then. The style's changed a little bit. I don't have the patience to do 100 hours now. No way. Maximum an hour on a drawing, and I'm spent on it. I don't lose interest in it, and I'll go on something else. But I never spent that much time on one drawing. I probably won't again. Some of these are. This is the this is the IRS shaking me down. This is let's see. What else we got? This is when I first got married, my first house. My wife said, "We will work on it together, and I'll help you, and we'll fix the house all up." And this is me in a crawl space, and she's helping me sit on the couch watching TV. I keep coming back to the drawing because I feel that I have that, I don't know if you call it talent, gift. There got to be a reason for it. And if I can help my friends with it, if I could uh, express it's a form of expression. I express my joy, my passions, my pain. It's therapeutic, you know. Uh, my frustrations, the things that and some of it is, it's kind of like a penance, you know. It's like a form of a catharsis. So most of these are written on the church bulletins. And when I'm listening to the pastor Lloyd Pulley at the Calvary Chapel in Old Bridge, and I used to do this in college during lectures. I used to doodle so I can concentrate, focus on what's being said. but in college I was at like 1.9 grade point average. So I wasn't a very good student, but I'm coming towards the end now, and I'm not going to make I'm not going to make any money. I'm not going to be rich from it, but someday I might put all this stuff together in a little book, you know, and give it to my grandson and say, this was your granddad's life, you know, this was his life. And just as a kind of a, what do you call it? It wouldn't all go in there, but he could, you know, he's 4 years old now. Maybe when he's a little older, he can, maybe he's an artist too, or maybe he can draw, you know, I don't know. It's got to be a couple hundred there, and they all like tell a little story. Some tell a big story, some tell a little story. Some are not really that inspired, but because they're not all, you know. So there's some bad pictures too that I throw out and they're junk, you know. But even the Beatles didn't. Every song wasn't all that great. Most of them were great, but not all of them. Some of them didn't make the records, you know, right? But it's a form of entertainment. You know, help keeps, you know, it's like playing a guitar, right? There are free art lessons in Philadelphia. When I lived in Philly, this guy named Samuel Fleischer donated his mansion and allowed for people to come and take free art lessons. So I used to go there when I lived in Philly. And that was it was good training. Yeah. When people, you have other like-minded people who are doing the same thing you are. You feed off of each other. You get ideas. They inspire you. They challenge you. It's a little bit of competition there, and yeah, it's like anything else, like sports. It's the same thing, you know. You get on a good team. You're all going in the same direction. The lifeguards, you know, you all have the same goals, become better, and yeah, and it's great. It's great, you know, because we're all, you know, have the same experiences, you know. You guys have the same experiences that I have. We share the same. It's a brotherhood, you know. It's like I mean, you guys. I'm probably old enough to be your grandfather, you know, but you know, we're all like a family, you know. The guys that came before me, I feel a connection with those guys. A lot of them have passed away. But, you know, anyway, they've really. I owe them my life. Those guys. Yeah.
So, Doug, would you describe your relationship with the ocean as one that's spiritual?
I don't know if you call it spiritual. I'm not. You know what I feel when I was on the beach and I saw a pod of dolphins come by, I would jump on the board and I would get out there as fast as I could to see how close I could get with them, and they would go under the board, and it would just. I love that about the beach and the wildlife, the stingrays, ocean sunfish, the whales. One day BJ and I were rowing out. A big whale was coming from the south. We tried to get as close as we could to this thing, and it turned and started coming towards us, and it looked like looked like a bus. It was huge, and we just stopped rowing and stopped talking. We didn't know what this thing was going to do. It was gigantic, and it was just such a great experience. So yeah, I guess you could say that's spiritual.
It's the ocean's incredibly humbling. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's merciless.
Yeah.
Merciless. It has no mercy. It's so powerful and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That never goes away. Yeah. I guess that is spiritual. Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was awesome.